Hey, thank you for joining me for another Tshaka Explains It All. Today, we're going to talk about something a little different. This isn't an actual review, but it's a question I get asked probably more than any other, and that is, how do you actually use the devices you use? What tips, what tricks, what things do you do? How can people get the most out of the device they're using? So, we have a new video series called This Is How We Do. In this first episode of This Is How We Do, this is Apple Watch for life. That's what we're talking about. Not that I'm an Apple Watch for life fan, but this is how I use the Apple Watch for a living, for my life. Now, you may be using a different smartwatch, you may be using a different fitness band, and some of these use cases will probably carry over to how you might use that product. I'm using the 44 millimeter body stainless steel version of the Apple Watch Series 5 that has GPS and LTE included. It has that new LTPO OLED touchscreen, which operates in a capacity that allows it to have the new always on display feature. But enough about the specs. This is how I use Apple Watch for life. I use it in 4 different categories that I'm gonna run down for you today. Apple Watch is my short-term memory, it's my gym buddy, it's my sleep tracker, and it's my wallet. The Apple Watch, for me, helps me with short-term memory items because, frankly, father, husband, editor, producer, writer, like all the things that I have to do, I have a lot on my mind. Bills for my personal bills, business bills, like everything. So I'm prone to forget things unless I write them down immediately or set reminders for them immediately. Hey Siri. One of the most important parts of my day using Apple Watch is actually Siri, using it for reminders. I can raise my wrist and say, hey Siri, remind me to pick up blueberries next time I'm at Trader Joe's.
Which location?
Riverside Drive.
Done.
And there we go. Next time I'm at Trader Joe's, it will actually pop up a reminder that is geo-aware and will remind me to pick up blueberries. One of the other ways I use it is for pill reminders. So if you've been following me for a period of time, you know that I was dealing with diabetes. It's an ongoing thing, even though I've lowered my levels to the point where my doctor had taken me off of metformin. I still have blood pressure medications that I take, and I do have supplements that I take since I'm frequently in the gym, and I'm older. I need all the help I can get to recover. So if I have a new supplement that I take, and I don't believe in pill popping, I don't do a lot. Right now, I'm pretty much just messing with like CoQ10, creatine, and BCAAs. So if I want to remember every day at a certain time to, let's say the doctor put me on a different blood pressure medication. Hey Siri, remind me to take my heart medicine every day at 8 a.m.
Done.
The same thing for subsequent dosage time. So if I take it twice a day, I can set another reminder for that second time. You can use this across multiple areas of your life. Work reminders, laundry reminders. And the same thing goes for cook timers. I use that the same way, raise my wrist, give the command, play my hardcore playlist. Now, one of the most significant uses for me for the Apple Watch outside of Siri is probably my fitness. For me, dealing with diabetes, fitness is medicine. Resistance training, weight training burns, to keep it simple, sugar in your muscles, and so it helps your body regulate insulin. When I go to the gym, everything I need is in my Apple Watch. So as you can see here, I'll click the button that allows me to see the items in my dock, and instead of going with recent items, I have a set amount of items sitting in my dock. And so as you can see, there's my LA Fitness app, and that has my barcode so that I can just pull that up on my watch and scan it when I get in there and go. It has my timer. I work out on my lunches, so I set my timer to 45 minutes. As you can see, I use it often, so it's already there. And then I have music, which obviously I work out to music. I always work out from my Apple Watch. I leave my phone elsewhere, unless I'm recording video that day, then I'll take my phone with me. Before I get into my lifting, I usually warm up with some elliptical and I cool down with some stretching. So I'll go into Apple Watch's built-in workout app and I'll start my elliptical workout. And then when I'm done, I'll go to my yoga workout. So I am very competitive, and it's hard for me to just be in the gym just to be in the gym, even if it is as a form of medication for my diabetes or dealing with diabetes and keeping it under control. I need to set milestones. I need goals. So I use an app called Strong. Strong makes an excellent workout log, workout tracker that is available on iOS and watchOS. And it also is available on other platforms as well. But its sync between the Apple Watch and the iPhone is exceptional. It's really good. And when used on the Apple Watch during my workouts, it will actually give me my rest times. So if I'm doing really heavy on the bench and I want to take a 3-minute rest, but you don't want to sit there. Sometimes you can get caught up, they have TVs on. You can sit there and before you know it, you've been resting for like 5 minutes. So it has a rest timer that'll vibrate, that'll ping you and give you an audible alert in your earbuds or headphones when your rest is up. I like Strong because it gives me on its homepage, right here, as you can see on iOS, charts and graphs that allow me to see my progress in various lifts over time. And for me, that keeps me motivated. The other items it allows you to see right on the home screen from the main page is anything you want to see about your body changing, your waist circumference, your hip or belly circumference. You can also see and set, if you'd like, measurements for other areas of your body, your biceps, your triceps, your quads, your calves. If you want to get that granular, I can add sets to an exercise on the fly. If I'm in a routine I've created, because it allows you to pre-create routines before you work out so that you know what you're doing in your workouts. And I follow the 3-5-1 lifting program. So I have all my weeks set up in advance in my watch so that when I get in the gym, I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to think about it. It's not another thing I have to consider for my day. I've done this work ahead of time. And so now it's just a matter of getting in, launching the Strong app, going into that first exercise for that workout routine, and I'm off to the races. Now I can add, subtract sets. I can change a set to a warm-up set or a set to fatigue, all those different things. And when I'm done with a workout, when I finish the workout, it syncs back to the cloud and syncs that data back to my iPhone where I can get a more granular view of everything I did for that workout.
High intensity.
Additionally, I have Seconds. The Seconds app I really like. It's basically for timed interval training, Tabata training, any of those type things. So I'll use the Seconds workout on days when I'm boxing or days when I'm doing when I'm jumping rope. So I will set a jump rope timer for like 30 seconds on, a minute off, or a minute on, 30 seconds off. If I'm boxing, 3-minute rounds, 2 minutes break, and so it'll ping me on my watch when I'm doing that. So the Seconds app is another app I use. And then of course there's the heart rate monitor. And those are all the apps in my frequently used apps folder that I have set in the dock on my Apple Watch. So that makes it really convenient, again, really easy to use, really efficient for me to get into the gym, get out without having to think about too many things. I don't have a tag on my keychain that I have to show when I clock into the gym. I'm not fiddling with my phone and a fitness watch. Everything is right there in one place. Another way I use my Apple Watch, and this is something that is not yet built in that fans of the Apple Watch have been asking for, and that is sleep tracking. So I use auto sleep because it's great at tracking sleep. And the other, probably most important use for auto sleep for me is I wake up and get ready for work before my wife does. So I've used auto sleep to set a silent alarm. And that silent alarm, you can do that with Apple Watch, by the way. You don't need auto sleep for silent alarms for Apple Watch. But what you do get with auto sleep and its companion app, Auto Wake, is you can wake up according to your sleep cycle. And I have found that that is actually very useful. So if I set my alarm to wake me up within a 30-minute window of the time that I want to wake up, so say I'm getting up at 5 a.m., it'll between 4:30 a.m. and 5 a.m., if I'm in a light sleep cycle, it'll waken me. And I've found that I actually do feel less groggy when awakened according to those light sleep cycles. And last, but definitely not least, Apple Pay. Quick double tap, you get your card up, you're able to go and pay for things. And I've found as many times as I'm able to, gas stations, grocery stores, any stores, shopping, going to the mall, retail, clothing store, shoe store. Anytime I can use Apple Pay and not pull out my wallet, it is wonderful. And especially given all the point of sale terminal hacks and the different credit card hacks that have happened in the last few years, using a system which uses tokenized or randomized numbers that aren't your actual credit card number gives me a sense of security in making those purchases throughout the day, that I won't be hearing about Sprout, which is one of the places I shop, being hacked, let's say, and now they have millions of credit cards exposed. If the Apple tokenized number gets exposed, it doesn't expose me. So Apple Pay is one of the other ways that I actually use Apple Watch for life.
Which location? Done.
And that's it. That's how I do. How do you use your Apple Watch? How do you use your fitness trackers? Leave that information in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. If you have any questions, if you want to know anything more about any of the subjects I've discussed, I'm more than happy to answer them. I will leave links to some of the apps I've talked about in the description. Hey, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit that bell to get notifications when I put up new content. Give me a subscribe if this video has helped you, and leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching.